أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني ويفقهوا قولي. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. We gathered here to talk about an important issue that's happening in our communities of late, and that has to do with the communication device that we use or the channel that we use, WhatsApp. And the intent of this gathering is to learn more about how to kind of stay safe or how to use it safe so that it doesn't cause further complications. It's not just to protect yourself, but also to protect the neighbors and the people who you interact with, others as well. I want to quote a few hadith and stuff to kind of in relation with what we're talking about. In Sahih Bukhari, Rasulullah said, the best of the people are those who are most beneficial to others. It doesn't directly translate to being beneficial here, but on the opposite side, you're not useful if you're harmful, right? So we just need to be on the other side where we are beneficial and not being harmful. In another hadith, Rasulullah said, whoever sees the wrong, let him change it with his hand, and if he cannot, then with his tongue, and if he cannot, then with his heart. Again, it doesn't directly translate to what you can do with it, but again, this is talking about some harm, something wrong, and here is something that is potentially could cause some harm. We should be trying to do whatever the steps that we can to protect and prevent others from getting harmed. Lots of this gathering, we are here to learn something about how to safe and secure WhatsApp. To begin with, there are different types of scams going around. And of course, if you look at any evolution of anything for that matter, technology, manufacturing capabilities, whatnot, if you think of, then there's an opportunity to exploit. Most probably someone will exploit. So that's just the nature of us. So we just need to know what is that we can safely use or minimize the chance of them exploiting us. One thing from that perspective is to learn different type of scams that are out there. It's not just somebody can take your phone and run away with it, but it's more of different types they can just get you. If you learn about it, you can use your due diligence to kind of stay alert and prevent this harm from kind of spreading. It's not just you're protecting yourself, you're protecting others as well. The first type of scam that I wanted to talk about is something called impersonation scam, where somebody may pretend like a fake friend or maybe a family member, and they ask for some financial help, like money. I think most of us or some of us have gotten messages. I'm stuck here. I'm in an accident. I couldn't go there. Please send me some money. I'll give it back to you. That's quite common, right? So somebody trying to impersonate someone else for financial help. In other cases, like maybe what falls into impersonation could be some sort of a influential person, like pretending to be like an influential person, giving you some offers that you feel like I could resist take, instead of take. Just watch out for these kind of scams. And the second one I would call it out. There's a prevalent scam out there is financial scams. Of course, all these scams mostly kind of revolve around financial money related stuff. I don't think so they get anything major advantage other than finance motivations. So the financial scams, for example, there are investment scams, like some people may promise like some investments that you feel like it's unusual, it's unrealistic. And some people fall for it, like because being desperate and this is so lucrative, people may fall for it. So just watch out for some of these random people calling you asking about, there is an opportunity, I can get you rich, right? We can't get rich there. That's a fact. Lottery, sweepstakes kind of scams, which I don't think so. Our community would have a lot of these issues. We don't, first of all, we don't agree to those kind of stuff. So we kind of assume that you may not fall for it. Like you don't say like, we want a lottery and just do this and I'm gonna just get the money. Of course, if there are some few people who may possibly fall in, watch out for these scams. And there are a lot of these things happening as well. Um, some sort of loan offers. That's also, I've even heard once through my experience. For no reason, people offering loans. Um, Watch out for those stuff, right? Even if you are in the process of getting a loan, make sure you are going through an authoritative way to get the loan rather than just somebody randomly calling you on WhatsApp. And none of the banks, the major businesses, they would call you on WhatsApp to talk about, money and loan and things like that, right? So they may either call you or just make a call directly. So if anything comes through WhatsApp in terms of loans and stuff, be extra careful. The third one was phishing scams. Um, so this is one absolutely major thing that is happening in our community a lot. Some random guy, even with some name sometimes, or many times even, calls you to, read him back a verification code, 6-digit code, sometimes 4-digit codes. So they ask you to read you the code back. Never ever do this. This is like, it's an option for them to take over your account, right? And then do further harm with it. So never ever read any sort of verification codes to anyone who asks for it. These verification codes are completely your private information, so you should keep it with you, or just for yourself, not even your known person. Somebody asks, never ever read about it. Some people, another type of scam is like, they may ask you for some personal information. Again, be watch out, nobody should be asking you your social security, bank account number, all those stuff, especially if the person is kind of unknown. You should be extra careful with giving out any sensitive information to anyone. This is a bit technical, of course, they can, using this type of malware and spyware scans, they can install some stuff into your device, which could, which could cause, further damages either to your phone or like, some other apps can transfer information that you don't want to get transferred to. Which again, you have no idea what's going on in the phone, but things may be happening just because you did something and you fell for it. So be careful about, any sort of these type of scams. And I'll walk you through what you can do. This is, a double-edged approach. One, one side, WhatsApp can give you some options to prevent some damage, but there is a lot you as a person, as an individual, can do to prevent a lot. So first you need to know certain things so that you can prevent some stuff from happening. And then I'll walk you through some WhatsApp settings and stuff that you can use to kind of protect. The next one on the list is like, social engineering scams. Some sort of like, pretending to be in emergencies. And that's when people just sometimes act without thinking much, especially if somebody we know and you don't really relate the voice, but you hear the name and maybe it comes through with their name, phone number and stuff, you may fall for it. Okay, so just be careful out there and what to do with it. The romance scams, which I don't think so, like in our community, that's going to be a problem, but just be careful with it. They can lure you into things that possible are outside. Business shopping scams, some sort of online store sometime, they kind of try to sell something that doesn't even exist. They will ask you to pay, and you end up paying, you don't get anything back. So that's also happen. That could also happen. Again, the other thing was like, probably some counterfeit products where, again, fake goods can be sold to you for extraordinary money. Even if the product comes to you, it may not be the real one you're thinking of. Like it could be a complete fake one. The last type of scam that I just kind of wanted to put it together in other scams side, um, people may try to recruit you. You know, I literally 2 days back, I got a phone call from somebody from Canada, and it sounded like all rosy. There is nothing wrong with it. Somebody reached out, and then somebody else reached out referring to the other person's name, saying like, I gave you a number, and there's an opportunity here, remote job, you can do this and that and all those. I clearly felt like, I was looking for a job. Why are you reaching out to me first? And then I thought like, instead of cutting them off, let's go a little bit in and see like, how they pretend and how they do. So I took it to multiple stages to see, spoke with them a bit more, didn't give out the information that they were asking for, but tried to play the, maybe a potential candidate kind of a role. And sounded like, very rosy. Job was there, they even gave me all the, salary, dollar numbers, $6,000 a month, blah, 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 all those stuff. I felt like, if somebody was not careful, certainly they will fall for it. No doubt about it. This is like, everything looked like what you do. You log into the website, there's a company name, and you Google the company name, the name exists. The website is there. But you take it to a different level to investigate a little bit. It's a 100% scam. People ask like almost like $20,000. They put you something in to begin with, and then end up, you're stuck with, few money. Then they say you add some money, and then I'll add more. Like to unlock your salary, you have to pay something. You keep paying more and more and more, and somebody they literally said like, they lost like $20,000. So extra careful. This is happening, and it happened to me as well. So I just wanted to emphasize that if anybody offers you a job for no reason, out of the blue, don't even answer. Just block them, move on. Okay. Another one that possibly could happen is like to collect some sort of your sensitive data. They could send you a survey. Just fill it out. Nothing wrong. I just want some feedback. If you are not related to whatever they are asking for, don't even think about filling out, because it could take you some other information that you may think in the list of 20 things they ask for. It's quite possible that you may just end up giving up some of your personal information. Okay, so do not fill out any survey stuff if at all anything, unless you are absolutely something you're working on and you're related to. Be careful with it. How to stay vigilant. She said, be skeptical about any messages that you're not sure about, right? If anything is a little bit suspicious, all it takes these days is to have like maybe 5% of suspicion. You don't have to have like 50% of suspicion. You doubt this message a little bit, and that's all it takes. Just don't even respond. Don't take this message to the next level. If it is coming from somebody that you know of already, make sure you call them directly, right? You can directly call them, you can text message them if you want, because those are not possibly hacked. Those are controlled by a completely different set of mechanisms. So you can text message them if you want, or just give them a call and find out like, what's happened. I got a message from you like this, was that you or someone else, right? Simple steps like that would prevent a whole lot of consequences. Avoid spreading unverified messages. So WhatsApp and any of these social media stuff, they thrive in this kind of a virality, right? One person passing on to the other and the other passing on to the other. So if you are not sure about a message, especially if it's unverified, you're not confident about it, don't just forward it for the sake of spreading, for the sake of, letting other people know, right? Since you are not even sure, either keep it with you or just get rid of the message. If they need to know, they'll come to know in some other way, right? You don't have to be the one to forward that. And especially watch out for anything that has some links. If a message has a link, be careful forwarding it. If it has any request for money or any other sensitive information, I would strongly encourage everyone to not forward that message to somebody else, because you forward it, you don't know what else happens to it after. The person may fall for it again, he spreads it to another 10 people, that goes to another 100, and it just booms out. Want to quote a few two Quranic verses and one hadith. Allah says in the Quran, 1736, chapter 17 and 36 verse, and do not follow that of which you have no knowledge. And that's absolutely clear, right? You have no knowledge of what this is. Do not follow that. And then another verse, chapter 22, verse 30, and spread not false reports. Of course, this is like spreading something that you don't know whether it's true or not. So that kind of falls into the false side, right? So be careful with it. Do not spread it. And in the hadith, Rasulullah said a sign of a hypocrite is that he spreads false news. That is not a news, but it's some sort of an information that you don't know how much harm it's going to cause, and you don't want to be anywhere near that hypocrite bragging to spread and get into that. The next one is like be cautious with links and files. As I said, especially a message contains links, and especially if it has an attachment as a file, be extra careful with it. Do not tap on any of the links, okay? And as much as possible, unless you're sure that you wanted to fill out something that came from a very trusted person, you go ahead and tap the link, but pay some extra caution to it when you try to tap on a link. The same thing applies to downloading files as well. The links are reasonably harmful because when you tap on a link, it will take you to a website, and that website can be malicious. That can run things on your phone and compromise your phone, right? That is equally dangerous, but at the same time, downloading a file is even more harmful. These files could be directly, intend to make harm to your device, compromise, install stuff, especially even with, other spying stuff that's going on with, even government agencies and stuff. That's where you get installed into some of these small things into your phone or device, and that can communicate stuff back to you without you even realizing it. It may install this malware and a virus possibly, but again, those can be fixed. If it's a virus, probably you can reboot it, reset it, it should be fine. But the other two things, quite possibly, you may not even realize it's happening. You may think everything is fine to me, nothing wrong with it, but things may be happening behind the scene. So when in doubt, do not tap on a link or download a file, any file. This I think I touched on, avoid sharing any registration codes. Usually kind of, they have like 6-digit code, so always be careful that if anybody asks for it, even the ones that you know of, just be extra careful that do not give up any of the codes. And it's not required for them for anything else except for some bad intention, right? So be extra careful with it. When things happen, out of whatever the steps that you take, sometimes things can happen. Somebody may fall for it, and which we always deal with. When that happens, it's your responsibility to make sure to bring it up, right? You see something suspicious, as soon as possible, reach out to the administrators of the group, and you can see through, if you have one is there. If you tap on any of the groups, the name of it, it will take you to a page where you can see all the members, and among that there will be tags that says admins. Just tap on them and send a direct message to them, saying looks like this brother or sister's number is hacked or something suspicious. Either let them take a look at or tell them can you remove them from the group. And admins, if you are an admin to a group, if you get a request like that, don't just jump on it right away, which I am a part of an admin group in some other group, WhatsApp groups. But I tend to look at it first, do some due diligence to make sure it's not somebody who intentionally wanted to remove someone, and then I feel something not right, I just go ahead and remove it. You can always add them back. It's not that once they are removed, they are gone forever. We remove people. If it is not right, you add them back, right? But if you've been in doubt, just take action to at least stop the bleed, right? be cautious of, these fake profiles. Again, they may pretend as like, somebody that you either know very well or somebody from your contacts list. And to kind of lure you into doing things that they want you to do. So be extra careful with people, who you are not sure about. Um, so this is if you are part of an admin in any of the groups, this advice is for you guys. Um, you should regularly kind of review the members list. If you're part of a group, you should always, once a week or maybe on a frequent basis, you should go to the list of members in the group. And in the Central PA Muslims group, we kind of instigated off late to um, make sure that the people who are there on the list have a profile picture. And again, I encourage you all to kind of voluntarily see if we can attach a picture to it. So people are aware of, this is a legitimate person, not like somebody who hacked into your phone and, created an account and all those. So like, you add a picture to it. So that we instigated that, you should have a picture so that we can identify you, right? We should remove, the admin should remove any of these accounts which are suspicious, especially if they don't have pictures, or even if they have pictures and you have suspicion, you should remove them. Another thing that the admins can do possibly is to every group in WhatsApp has a way to say like, only approved members can join the group. Some groups may not be possible, one of the local groups that I belong to, they have like more than 1,000 people. It may not be possible to go through approval every time, somebody wanted to join. But given the intensity of this problem, especially within our Muslim community groups, which are not in the thousands or 2,000 range kind of, I would strongly encourage to say like, the admin group should approve any members that who wanted to join. Um, how to stay secure with WhatsApp. So this is like, I want, if you guys are okay, you can take your phone and probably walk through this, and as I was telling this, probably you can just go and change your settings and make sure that you are following this instead, because it's easy to forget if you just watch this and go home and you may not be able to do things with it. So if you have the phone with you, I would say like, take your phone out and let's see like, if we can get some of the settings taken care of. I assume like all of you are using WhatsApp, right?
Yeah.
Any of you not using WhatsApp? Alright, so pretty much everyone. So in that case, like, maybe like just quickly go through if you have the phone with you.
Okay.
This one is optional, you don't have to do it right away. But think about this, like, if you wanted to have a PIN number every time you, log into your account, then there is something called two-step verification they have. This is something either you can do it now if you're comfortable to select the six-digit PIN and make sure to remember as well. You can do it now. If not, like at home, you should try to keep it like a two-step authentication kind of. If you have WhatsApp, you can go into settings.
Settings.
At the bottom, you should have a
On the
settings
top.
tab.
On the top.
Depends on the iOS or Android. On iOS, it's at the bottom. If you have an Android phone, it should be the three dot at the top. And you tap on settings. Everybody did? Settings. And there should be account. And underneath, there should be two-factor authentication.
Click on the account.
Accounts, yeah. Tap on the accounts.
Two-step.
Yeah.
Two-step verification, right?
Two-step verification. Again, you don't have to do it now, but I just want you to be aware of there is something exists. So if you need it, if you wanted to keep it your account safe, there's a six-digit PIN number that you can select and make sure to remember as well. You should be able to set it up. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Alifa just brought it up, once you have it set, the little image that picture of an icon that shows up,
It's gonna be like
it will
this.
have a little green color checkbox, like a
So
big,
once you finish, it's gonna be like this.
like a big mark.
That's the out. So you click on the box.
Yeah, and you have to set it up, but again, be careful, because if you don't remember, that will cause more problems to your account. So take your time, yes, take your time, but see if that's something you wanna set it up, okay?
Got it? As soon as you finish, it's gonna check like.
Yeah.
I did this, but it never worked for me. Sometimes it will require the pin, sometimes it won't.
Yeah, it's not every time that Askar, like every week, pretty much on a weekly basis, it would ask you to enter the PIN. And it is good in one way because if you lose the phone, the hacker cannot, or whomever cannot go beyond certain days. Like depends on if the PIN, it asks you the PIN number is, and you lose the phone on a Friday, if it's one day, next day they have to enter the PIN which they don't know, and your account will be a little bit more safe. Move to the next one.
Password. Wanda baka masawa. Password. Kung ka nilagay bag ko kapag password.
When this is recorded, so they can go back to Facebook or YouTube and watch this session.
Sure. So again, this is something you can do now or later as well. Yeah. You did that. It's optional. You don't have to enter your email. You don't have to enter your email. If it asks for your email, you don't have to enter the email. It's an optional one. If you want to, just in case if you lose the phone and you want to recover your account, it may send you an email. So if you wanted to put it in, put it in. I hope everyone is okay. All right.
1 second, please finish.
Again, make sure to remember the PIN number that you said. It's important that you know the next week if it asks. Hopefully you remembers. You remember.
Okay, they're good now.
Alright, so moving on to the next one. You can set up a lock screen. This is again an optional setup where if there is a possibility that you may lose your phone, or maybe your phone, your kids may pick up the phone and look at your WhatsApp messages, and they may accidentally tap on links. They don't know it's nicely colorful pictures and all those. They may tap on it. This could have happened. This has happened in the past as well. They didn't do it, but someone else did. And we also all of a sudden in the groups that we get bunch of messages and somebody at the end says sorry my kid, right? So this could happen. So if you wanted to protect your WhatsApp, of course they have to log into your or unlock your phone. But if you give them the phone for other things like studies or tracking their this and that, you can secure your WhatsApp, just the app itself. So when they tap on the WhatsApp icon, they have to enter a PIN number, right? You can lock it. So if you feel like this phone is 100% exclusive to you, you are the only one who would be using it, you don't have to do this. But if you think like possibly my kid, someone else may possibly use it, and also there is a possibility of losing the phone. And it's quite possible that you can just lose the phone and somebody knows the PIN into your phone, then they can go to WhatsApp and do further damage as well. So this is an optional one, but if you want, again you go to settings, and instead of the account, you go to privacy at this time. There is an option called privacy. Are you in? Privacy, yeah. Account,
Oh, this is different.
settings, and privacy. And there is something called app lock. So it depends on how you unlock your phone. If you in iOS and the iPhone, people use the Face ID, so they just bring the phone to their face and it kind of unlocks. In other cases, like you can use the fingerprint or maybe some pattern to kind of unlock. However, you unlock your device. Now this would apply to your WhatsApp as well. Okay.
lock.
App lock.
Yeah, mine is not in there.
Yeah, most of them when you do it, it wants you to go to a different settings.
Yeah, I
It
just
will
said
say
if
to
I
enable
need
the
to-
features, first set up a face or fingerprint unlock in your device settings.
Yeah, so if you haven't done it, like if you haven't secured your phone with a fingerprint, Face ID or something, then you may have to first set that up, because that is what is getting used in this situation.
Okay.
I just said-
Okay.
Yeah. This is for the app lock. It is because, as I said, you have to lock your phone with the function. You have to first set up your phone to be locked, your fingerprint, Face ID or something. Then it will help you to get into app. Okay. Those of you who don't have that app lock available to you, just ignore it for now, but move on. When you set your phone to be more secure with a ID or a app lock or a fingerprint mechanism, then at that time you need to use it. Okay. Okay. Moving on to the next one. Moving on to the next one, like who can add you to a group? You know, many times people have been added to groups without their consent, right? Randomly, somebody adds someone, right? So, but you can control. Go back to again settings, privacy. Back to the privacy option, and there is something called groups. If you see a groups option there,
Yeah.
so there you can set up, who can add you to groups. And one of the option is like my contacts, only your contacts can do. So I would say like, you set up to allow only your contacts to add you to any of the groups. You guys set it up or? You don't have it? Okay. Alright, next one. This is again, somebody can see you and then they can act upon your behalf, right? They know you, they can see you, you have a beard, you always wear a cap, all these things, they can see more information about you. They can then pretend as you. So to stop that, there is a setting in WhatsApp that can allow you to stop you from who can see you in WhatsApp. Unknown people, like the one that I got a call from Canada, they should be seeing me wearing a glass and I have a beard and stuff like that. Because then they can tell Rahim, oh, you know what, I know him, he has a beard, he used to have a glass, remember, and then he may fall for it, thinking that that's right, right? So they don't know about me, then they don't have a chance to even explain to him how I look, right? So if you go back to settings, and one thing I want to point out, this could be especially useful for systems. And if the teams, if you have teams at your home, they are using WhatsApp, this setting may be really helpful to them. They don't want their pictures, the profile pictures and all those stuff to be seen by others, right? So that should be useful. So even if you don't do it, maybe you can convey that to your family. Go back to your settings and privacy. And there should be an option to say last seen online. There are a bunch of options there. Last seen online, profile photo, and about, and group. There are like 4 different things that you can control how or who you want them to see. Especially the profile photo for sisters. I would say like, only my contacts should be able to see. Not everyone should. Okay. Groups as well. If you don't want others to see your picture in the group, you may belong to a larger group where you have too many people, you don't know who is gonna be malicious. So in that case, if you doubt something, you can control the groups also. Only your contacts in the group will see your pictures and stuff. None of the others. Others will see like an empty image. So set it to my contacts. If you see my contacts in there, you will just select that option to set it to my contacts. Everybody good? Right, so the next one up, this is to block like unknown account messages. Again, randomly I got this message from Canada. And they were not in my contact, I have no idea about them, but they were able to send me some message which came out of the blue. You can stop them. I didn't have that setting turned on, so I happened to get that message. But if you think like, you may fall for these things, you better like, set this setting up. Back to settings and back to privacy. And this time you tap on the advanced option there. And the first thing you see should be block unknown account messages. Tap on that to turn it on. Advanced, and the first one you will see on the top is block unknown account messages. You see? Yeah, just tap it on to turn it on. Good? Alright. That's all good? Good? Inshallah. So we can move on. A few more to go and then we should be able to wrap up. This is something you may have.
There is two saying protects IP address in calls and then disable
Yeah.
linking.
Those two you can just leave it, but the first one is important. Block unknown messages. The very first one is the one. Yeah. Yeah, take this one off. Disable. Yeah. These are stuff will make your life a little bit harder. In the sense like if you get a link to see a web page, for example, it shows a little bit of a preview, like to show you like what it is about. Like for example, we share an announcement from Miranda. The link is there, but it also has a little picture about what it is about.
Yeah.
Right. That preview will be taken out if you tap on the other options that you brought up. Those things will be taken out. A link you can't make anything out of a link that time. So it's better to leave those disabled, turn it off.
Okay.
But the first one where it says block unknown messages, turn it on. This one again, if you use like multiple devices, or the same account is used by multiple people as well in some cases, this will be useful. You can see where and all your account has been logged in. Like maybe you use WhatsApp on a computer, right? On this laptop, maybe sometime you can use WhatsApp here. You may use it on your phone. You may use it on your iPad. You may use it on somewhere else. So all these are kind of connected. So which means you can see where and all your account has been used. It will tell you, a laptop, an iPad, something else, right? So you get a feel that, I know all these four, right? There's a fifth one, which I have no idea. Now you know it's possible that it's a little bit compromised, right? So go into settings, and there should be an option called link devices. If you see just one entry in there, that's fine. That should be your current phone, I believe. But if you see more, you have to possibly review those.
This?
Link.
Nothing. There's nothing on mine.
Okay. Yeah, if you don't have anything, it's
No,
not.
I didn't put it.
Yeah, because it's just your phone probably.
Yeah.
But I tend to use it on my
Yes.
laptop, and people I have seen, like other people have used different devices. And some people even have multiple phones,
Yeah.
right? So they may have. So if you see a item in that list, okay. Yeah, multiple items if you see, if you're not sure about it, all you do is tap on that item, right? I will pop open and say like, log out. And from now on, once you log out, whomever was using it, they cannot use WhatsApp. Okay, so it's just another safety feature. So this is not a setting related stuff, but any suspicious contacts, you can block as well. Actually, there is a way to do it in the settings as well. But if you somebody messaged you, right, all of a sudden, with all these other settings that you have done, probably you will have less chance of somebody reaching out to you who you don't know. But in case if a message comes through, you can just right swipe, which means on the message name itself, you can swipe right, and there should be a three dot, and you can tap that three dot, and it will tell you way to block it. So from once you block them, that's what I did with the Canadian message I got. Once I told them, you'll be in trouble, you're scamming people, you should stop and you better be prepared. I did whatever I had to tell them. As soon as I did that, I blocked. Right? So tap on the right swipe, tap on the more option, and then you select the block option. Once in a while, WhatsApp also provides you a way to kind of look back on your privacy settings. Privacy is where, how your personal information and those are handled by WhatsApp, or how the settings kind of would impact some of your personal information. So you can do periodic kind of a review, like to take a look at and see how things are. So there is an option to do it. They call it privacy checkout, and you go into settings, privacy, and then there should be an option called privacy checkout. You see him?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is something, it should become a little bit of a habit. Weekends, probably just go through the privacy checkup to make sure, nothing else got changed or nothing else indicates that there is a potential issue here, right? Take a look at it once you get a chance. These are general advices. I think somebody asked when I walked in, should I have to update my, I think one of you asked, right? Should I have to update WhatsApp? Absolutely. And the reason they send out all these updates are, they found issue. There is something that is a security issue, like something like compromise, or something can be exploited by someone. So they found the issue and they fixed it. Now, if you don't update, your WhatsApp is open for all these vulnerabilities, right? So make sure, I do it at least, every other day. I go to, App Store if you are on an iPhone. You go to,
Automatic? Can you do automatic?
you can do automatic too. It's even better if you are not having, because I don't want every app to be updated. In my case, it's slightly different. But if it is convenient, just set it to automatically update, right? But if not, at least make it a habit to, every other day just go in there. And if you see, an update to WhatsApp, make sure to install that. On top of just updating WhatsApp, you should also update your phone as well. Every time they send out new updates, and that's even more critically important, not just for WhatsApp, for other things as well. They are probably exploiting WhatsApp now, but there are other apps that can possibly be exploited as well. So you keep your iPhone also up to date. And when there is an update, go ahead and get it updated. Do not delay. Don't fall into the really old version which has all sort of problems. Okay.
So, some people say, okay, they send these software updates just to spy on.
No.
People.
We can't say that for sure because already if that's the case, you are already being spied on.
No, you are.
Yeah, it's not just that one update is going to give you something else, right? So, but possibly there is a benefit in there, like some loopholes they found, they fixed it. I work in software, so I know what we do, right? We find issues, of course, we patch it out. So people who don't update it, they are exposing themselves to all these problems, right? So always keep it up to date. Don't fall for like spying and all those kind of stuff. As I said, if they have to spy on you, by the time you bought the phone, they must be spying on you, right? Nothing much you can do. So. To conclude, I just want to reiterate that, in the COVID time, we used to always say this, right? We are all in this together. Like, you wear a mask, it's not just you protect yourself, but you're protecting me as well, right? Protecting the elders in the community. So the same thing here, the analogy pretty much applies here as well. We are all in this together. So make sure you have that feeling, my ignorance would lead others to pay for it. So always keep that in mind. I just put it here, like one fallen account may possibly lead to another fallen account, right? Again, I may be careful, Ibrahim may be careful, but Ravi may not be. Right? You may fall for lucrative things. Okay, let me just follow, right? Elders especially, I have seen elders fall for it pretty bad, and they lose money and a bunch of other things as well. And it was in the news also quite a few. It's not just within our community, from our other communities as well. It was in the news as well. People fell $30,000, $50,000, and stuff like that. So we don't want to cause others harm. That's our intent, which means like this also falls into that category. It's like not a physical one, but it's a soft one. So be careful with it. Any questions?
Usually absolute cash start, zero. Some people lose money with cash out.
Yeah.
But the cash out you will send you like update to do it.
You should.
You should just go
Any
ahead and do it.
app that you get an update, you should update it. The whole point was, they found something, they fixed it. Of course, some updates are adding more capability. Like you can only pay $1, every dollar kind of in Cash App. Like you cannot pay $1.50, maybe. Assume that. Now they send out an update. Now they allow you to add 50 cents, 25 cents, whatever.
And stuff too.
Right, so those are features we call it, like additional capabilities that you can possibly do with the app. But this is more of fixing problems, right? There are issues they identify and they send out an update to fix it. So you should be the first one to catch it when you install it. So always keep your apps up to date. Always keep your phones also up to date. Never let it fall behind. It's a quiet group here, this side. Anything else from you?
What about any, what about other apps like Facebook, TikTok, and all this stuff that maybe some people have? Is there any other settings you can also recommend?
It is, yeah. There are some privacy settings, if there is an interest, we can walk through on Facebook as well. Instagram, little bit, not as much, but Facebook has a lot of privacy settings. Again, they intentionally sometimes, again, this WhatsApp also is owned by the same company, Facebook, which is called Meta. They have a kind of a split opinion among the people, the tech community. They have a split opinion about this company. They do something good, but also on the other side, they are not in a good cause. They sell our information for them to make money. Right? You did this, you went there, you bought this, you watched this, you did this, and all kind of stuff that you're doing, especially in Facebook. Like you are just putting yourself in there, like what you did, what happened, what I like, what I don't like, what I promote, what I don't promote, what I agree, what I don't agree with. Everything pretty much they know about you. Now the good part of it is, they say we use that information to give you the right advertisements, right? Which okay, fine, right? I don't want to see, a casino advertisement because I don't not even agree with it at all, right? So I don't need to see a casino advertisement, but I would rather like to see an ad which is more relevant to it, right? So if you use it just for that purpose, fine, right? But they take it to a different level because they wanted to make more money. They sell your information to do things which are completely out of our norm. So Facebook, I'm not a fan of, but again, we don't have a lot of choice, like a big social network application. That's what a lot of people are using. If there is an interest, we can go through the privacy settings where by default, they let you be open to anything because that's what they want. But you can turn it off and say don't do it. Again, how much they follow that, even if you say don't do this, will they really follow it? I don't know. But at least there is an option. Of course, there is an auditing and all those things happens. So somebody may be looking at it to make sure if you turn it off, it's supposed to not do things, right? So with that assumption, we can at least protect ourselves in a reasonable way. Again, if needed, I can walk you guys through later, inshallah. Yes, brother. Mm.
Sometimes I see something in the marketplace when you meet the buyer, they say I want to pay.
Yeah, I think there is no harm in, you don't need to know that person directly, because the way they work is like, all these are accounts, an authenticated proven account with a bank account attached to it, so they can't just fool you. You see what I mean? Like, if I'm paying Imam has an account, and there is a bank account attached to it, it's verified, he's an authentic person.
And there is a company between you
And a business also.
Yes.
So it is more secure to do it, and also like, there is a barcode, a QR code they call it, or there is a handle like by name or something like that. So there is a little bit of verification, you're not paying someone unknown kind of, even though it's unknown to you at that moment. That person was known to cash out
Yeah.
for how long.
I was thinking that the guy, his cash out was linked to credit card and he can call his company that he got bad service and he wants his money back.
No, the refunds and stuff everywhere, any financial institutions, they have to,
These
But not on Cash App and Zelle.
yeah, they may not, in
No
some
refund. It's
some
not-
people, they say no refunds.
Yeah, it's Cash App and Zelle don't have a refund option.
Even it's linked to the credit card.
No, it's Cash App and Zelle, it's a transfer money, there is no refund.
It's one way.
PayPal will have.
Yeah.
If you pay on PayPal, that is, you buy a service, just like a credit card, you go and, you pay for something with a credit card, you can call, put a complaint and you can refund your money.
Yeah,
But
and-
not with Cash App or Zelle.
In this
No.
case, like, Cash App has a term with the credit card company that, anything that you ask me to charge back, I'm not gonna do. So the credit card company, even the guy who tried to call credit card company, they cannot pull money out of Cash App. Unless the company, the bank or whatever the credit card company, they themselves are willing to lend the money, which most probably they don't. So
Even
from that
on,
point of view, it's safe.
on the cash, on the Zelle, and even before you send, you could see that they sent you the message. They will ask you for it. They will ask you.
To approve the
Do you know
transaction.
the
Yeah,
person
yeah.
you approve before you go on? So that is why they don't have no refund and that issue, because you approve,
Okay.
you know the number and you approve the name and that number. So that is why.
The thing that concerns me, you said earlier, how can the suspicious numbers like appear as someone you know? How can they do this?
So the question was like, how come an unknown number pretend or make it look like,
Yeah.
a legitimate number kind of. Again, I don't know the intricate details about how they do it, but they call it impersonation, they call it. In a technical term, they call it impersonation. Again, the details of it may be too technical to you guys, but it is possible. And any of them can pretend like you. And sometimes your account was compromised, it's you, your account. Right? If I come, literally grabbing your phone from your hand and texting Ibrahim, send me the money, it's your name is going to him, saying like, you sent a message, right? It's almost like that. If the door is open, right, anybody can walk in. So the point of this is to see if you can close the door, right? So that impersonation is quite easy, but also it's a little bit technical as well.
Not to close the door like 100%, but at least 90%, right?
Actually,
Still, they're gonna find a way to
yeah,
try to hack
and
your money.
every day new
Yeah.
exploits are happening. It's not just, there are like 10 exploits and we are done with kind of. And that's why, you should keep up to date with WhatsApp. Every time there is an update, you should update it. Reason being, we walk through all these different settings. It's possible that they found a 11th setting, like 11th issue. And WhatsApp may say, okay, now go to settings, privacy, this another one, and tag this to start off. So I mean, so that feature is only available if you keep it up to date. So always you should keep things up to date.
Can I add that?
Yes.
Quick. For sisters as well, just quick.
So one issue for brothers and sisters as well. The reason why we are talking about WhatsApp here is because this is an issue to keep growing in our community, and we don't want Muslims to we want the Muslims to be the strongest community. We don't want anyone to take advantage of our people. And unfortunately, we have, I think everybody here in the Sabereen announcement group, we have about 1,000 people in our groups. We have 3 groups for the announcements. We have about 1,000 people, but we recently need to remove the people because when they get hacked, first thing we do is we remove them right away. And that's what I wanted to ask you for. As Brother Askar said, is when one person falls, it might be another account. The way it goes is on WhatsApp, in many cases, they cannot see your contact, just like you see, because it's not on your phone, it's on someone else's phone. But they can see your groups, they can see who you messaged before. So what they do is typically they go to the group and they start sending the same message to everybody in that group. So the faster we remove them, the faster we stop it. So as soon as someone sends you a message, please go to the name on that account, basically. Yeah, basically when so for example, if you go to my name on your account and you click on my name, you will see the common group that you and I share, both in same groups. And for example, like if you see that that number you clicked on and he's in Sabereen announcements group, first thing you want to do is message the admins in the group, tell them this account is hacked, so we can remove them right away. That person will not have access to 1,000 number in our groups and 1,000 people, because out of 1,000 there might be a chance that someone might fall. And just like Brother Askar said, if you get a message from me, maybe if someone I know and say I need a $500, that's what they said in the message. Maybe I'm in the hospital and I have an emergency, and with a good faith, you might be, this brother in real emergency, let me send it to him. So it happened a lot in our community, and we wanted to prevent this. So my request is to everybody that if you are, not just in a Sabereen group, in any other Muslims group, in any other group, when you get someone send you a message that seems to be a scam, as soon as possible, please go to that account before you block, see the accounts that you, the groups that you have in common, and inform not in public, just go to the admin, inform them that this account is hacked, is compromised, so that way they can remove them from the group and they will have no access to the rest of the people in that group. Jazakumullah khair.
And one thing I would add to it also, do not engage with them. If you see a message, don't just respond back. Ignore it. Yeah. Because now you know there's a problem. You can take it to the admins and try to get rid of them rather. Rid of this is not a legitimate account, like one of our known brothers' account got compromised. It's not like getting rid of them, kind of just removing them for now, and then you can add them back once they feel like comfortable. But don't engage in back and forth conversations with them. It's going to cause even more damage. But now they know these people are active, they are like doing things, that's another signal, right? Or these people are active. It's not a group that, I send a message and I don't get back at all. So don't give them that signal. Okay?
Jazakumullah khair.
Oh, yeah. Jazakumullah khair everyone for joining. And inshallah, we'll see if we can have the one Facebook option also in the future.
Jazakumullah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They never know this is scam.
If you